Deepak, Google has become a generic term for online search. Why has Google been so successful?
When you sort of look at the history of Google and you look at how it started, a lot of Google was based on solving one particular problem. The problem of having access to the world's information and making that universally available, readily accessible wherever you are around the world. So if you start with a key problem and you say, how am I going to solve that with technology? The guys who created Google came up with the algorithms and all the back end, all the rest of it to make it a simple product that just worked.
Tell me about the current promotional effort.
We want to build platforms for our users. So they can come in, they can use these tools, whether it's Google Maps, whether it's YouTube, whether it's search, and start to get the information they need to keep going with what they need to get done each day, right? Find directions, find that, that video that, your cousin sent you or your friend sent you, or even just find, information about a product or some research around shopping, etc. But the other side of this is, thinking about, the second part of this is really thinking about apps. And, what does it mean when people start to go online with every device, whether it's your phone or your tablet or your computer at home, you want to have access to the same information, whether it's a document, a file. And so being able to build tools for that sort of scenario.
So what's in the pipeline? Is it internet TV? Is it Google TV? What is it?
The benefit of sort of thinking about where technology is headed is you can sort of think about, what are people doing with technology? How are they using it? And no longer are we sort of dictated, for example, with TV schedules anymore. We demand the information now. We want to watch we're on the train or we're on a plane, we're somewhere, and we say, hey, give me some entertainment. I want to see my favorite show right there. And so if you think about it from a user demand model, it's very clear that, you need to start to establish content and create content and have partnerships and build out an effective ecosystem there. But there's that side of the story. There's also things that we can do that just, aren't being thought of today. So technology solutions like self-driving cars, going into spaces that haven't been invested in before, and we start to evolve and start to move that forward, that's going to help benefit, people everywhere. And so that's the thinking around sort of, the multiple sort of investments that we've made across in different areas.
Google has a reputation for providing an exceptional workplace. What does it take to be a Googler?
Great question. I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest. I've been there seven and a half years or so, and three things I think really differentiate people who work at Google and then other places that I've worked at. I think one is there's a real bias for action. There's a lot of there's thoughtfulness, there's strategy, but what really matters is getting things done. So we have very short-term goals and we go after those goals. The second thing is, I think, it's a very collaborative culture. It's not very, sort of top-down driven. And so decision-making is done in a collaborative way, which can be painful at times, to be frank. But it also allows for many different inputs and you get many different thoughts from different parts of the business, and that really helps as well. I think the third trait is flexibility. When you build teams, you sort of set goals for a period of time, knowing well that in 6 to 12 months' time, that may shift. You may be asked to do something different. And so if your teams aren't built or set up for that sort of success, with small teams that can be nimble and fast, it sort of will slow down the business. And so we've been really thinking about bringing on people who are highly flexible, willing to work in different places and environments.